اوكي سلام عليكم كلكم. عزيز فوتوكم ذكيري حق نزوحت قللي حق مو حقين كلتني حرايا كلتني بتعم زقرة من نقر أبز ناي تشاينا ناي إريتريا بريزيدنت فيزيت سي كوما عينت بخوما عينت تقبلوا ما قايشهم فولتو تشاينا بزبل ناي بحكي مرمرا كن قبروا يقددنا مالتي بار بمتى كجمري لومي ناي تنزانيا بريزيدنت فيزيت كيرون يري تشاينا رايدو كمين يرتك أقبابلا ببحثيرو كنريئنا اوكي كم زمسل مبار شعوز نبرا أقبابلا دكيري كم زمسل رايدو كم زمسل
And it's about to grow even deeper as President Samia Suluhu Hassan leaves her country for a planned visit to China.
This will be a historic visit because it is first time our president is visiting China as head of state since she came to office in March last year. But also it's the first visit taking place immediate after the 20th Congress of the CPC. So it is a significant visit and very symbolic, as we are used to symbolism when it comes to China-Tanzania relations. If you remember, in 2013, when His Excellency President Xi Jinping came to office, the first visit he made in Africa was in Tanzania. China is the #1 contractor in Tanzania. I was checking at statistics.
ኣብ ኣርያፖርቶ ምስኣቶ ካብ ኣወሲዶሞ ኣዲ ብሊቭ ካብ ቤጂንግ ኤርፖርት probably about 35 4 ደቂቃ ወስደልካ እዩ ንዳውንታውን ንቤጂንግ ማለት እዩ ኦኬ ካብኡ ብመኪና ወስድዎ ማለት እዩ ስትሬት ናብ ኦፊስ እትዮሞ በቃ ተወዲኣታ ነገር እስከ ናይ ሙዲ ቪዚት ከመይ ነይሩ ናይ ኢንድያ ቪዚት كمان يرسخينا عند هرينا دما اوكي كم زي مثل ناتو تصبو فيزيت مثل ازيو تصبو كيرو مستقبلوا مثلو رايدو مبار كم زي غيرو تودي
Welcome. Good job. Yeah, bye. I'm waiting for you.
Please don't cross. Please don't cross. Please don't cross.
You can hold over.
Sir.
गाड़ी के अंदर ओके
بحاطيرو بخمس توديونات ነገር ማለት በጣም ዝገርም አቀባበል ላይ ነው ሙኒ ለኢንዲያ ፕሬዚደንት ከ1 ቢሊዮን ነጥብ ክልተ ይሰለስተ እትኻልአይ ዓለም ቀዳማይ ቻይና ኮይኑ ካልአይ ድማ መስለኒ ናይ ኢንዲያ ብዛሓት ኣብዚ ዓለም እዚ ዓት ኢኮኖሚ ማዓት ነገር ቦርደር ኣለዎም ቻይናን ኢንዲያን በኣስኦም ስምታምስ ከምዚ ዓይነት ብጣዕሚ ዝገርም ኣቀባብላ ገይሮም ነይሮም ደፍለዚ ዘሐጉስ ብጣዕሚ ዘሐጉስ ኣቀባብላ ነይሩ እስከ ሕጂ ድማ ናብታ ሽሙ ንኺድ ኖርዝ ኮርያ ፕሬዚደንት ክመፅእ ከለኸ እንታይ ተገይሩ ይፅሉ
The leader has made a second surprise visit to China. Beijing has confirmed that Kim Jong-un met President Xi Jinping in North Dalian City for 2 days of talks. It comes ahead of a regional meeting on Wednesday between China, South Korea and Japan. Denuclearization of the Korean peninsula is on the agenda. Kim is trying to shore up support with his ally China ahead of a historic summit with the US president, which could happen by the end of the month. Well, Laura Becker is live from Seoul for us with the latest. Laura, what more do we know about this meeting?
Well, it was a 2-day meeting. He spent one night in Dalian. His sister was there as well. And we know that he flew there, which is a new development. Remember, Kim Jong-un took power in 2011 to Beijing. And then he took that short step over the border to meet President Moon of South Korea. And here he is ahead of any summit, any planned summit with President Trump, once again meeting the president of China.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, بارتاهم تريزون لهم كلتهم اليوم نورث كوريا and China بتعمل فاكتريوهم تناي نورث كوريا embassy بيجين كتريوهم لهم بعدو بتعمل جدجي بتعمل هاجريت بس كوينوجن بسكريت يوم تقابلهم كابت ايربورت ماتيو او هوتيل اتيو نابت بريزيدنشال اوفيس كيدو أوتات كم قال جيرم تراقبهم مالتي وكم زرعهم ونيرو تقابلا مالتي بار أب علم كم زلوا إيكونوميس حادي ودما كم سفوتو ناي برازيل أخونا Brazil visit
His official visit to China. Now, there was a large ceremony to greet Mr. Lula when he arrived. The two leaders are expected to sign trade deals and to also discuss the war in Ukraine. Let's get more now from our correspondent, João da Silva, who's keeping across this story. Hello there to you, João. So what can we expect from today's meeting?
Well, let me first start by saying that indeed this meeting is a huge deal for both sides. We just saw in those live pictures earlier of the guard of honor, all of it. And waiting for his delegation was a very large group of high-level Chinese officials. And that really signals the importance that the two sides attach to this visit. Now, we don't know exactly what's on the agenda for this meeting, but there's at least a couple of issues that you mentioned there that are likely to make it into the talks. First, of course, is trade. There, and it signals their desire to strengthen economic relations with China. President Lula, which has returned to power only months ago, knows he needs Brazil's largest trading partner if he is to deliver on his promises to fight poverty and really boost Brazil's stagnant economy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, أفتكم نقدر كأتوكم دليل خوكم أنا يريكم يزلوا كم يجرم تقبلهم ናይ ብራዚል ድማ እቲ ዝዓበየ ዓዲ ኣብ ሳውት ኣሜሪካ ዝዓበየ ኢኮኖሚ I think ብራዚል ብኤርያ ንዩናይትድ ስቴትስ እንትዓበያ መስለኒ ቼክራ ይመስለኒ anyway ኣብዚ መፅአ ቼክ ክገብሮ ምኽኣልኩ I don't want to go there ዝኾነ ኮይኑ ዓብይ ሓይሊ ናይ ብራዚል ዓብይ ናይ ኢኮኖሚክ ሓይሊ ብሳውት ኣሜሪካ ናይ ብራዚል መንግስቲ ራይዶ ኣብኡ ከይዱ ኣብቲ ብሪክስ ድማ ዝበሃል ክገብሮ ዝደልዩ ዘሎ 7 ዓድታት 6 ዓድታት 6 መስለኒ ብዙሕ ብርትዐ ኣብኡ ድማ ኣክቲቭ ብጣዕሚ ናይ ብራዚል ግን ከምዚ ገይሮም ተቐቢሎሞ ዘሐጉስ እዩ ነይሩ ኦፍኮርስ ግን ዘገርም ኣይነበረ እስኪ ሕጂ ኸኒ ናብቶም ኣውሮፓ ንሱም ክከይድና ቀሲልና እሞ እስኪ እንታይ ኣሎ ብዚ ናይ ጀርመን ቻንስለር ከመይ ገይሮም ተቐቢሎሞ እዚ ድማ ክንሪኦ ንደሊ
Chinese leader Xi Jinping and Premier Li Keqiang. Scholz also addressed controversy over economic and human rights issues. He is traveling with a business delegation and has faced calls to reduce Germany's overdependence on its biggest trading partner. Now, allies like France and the US are critical of the visit. Now, while Scholz was outspoken on
and Vladimir Putin called a no-limits relationship. Xi Jinping, China's paramount leader, having tied his fate very closely to Vladimir Putin. So I don't think you could really expect Li Keqiang, number 2 to Xi Jinping, and a man who will be out next spring as part of the latest leadership shake-up here. You wouldn't really expect him to sort of throw Russia under the bus in a press situation like that. But one thing that he did say, which I think will maybe cause a little...
Our reporter Emily Leshner has been looking at the tense economic relationships between the two powers.
The visit comes as Germany's reliance on China is being scrutinized. European leaders say it puts Germany in a vulnerable position, just as its dependency on Russian energy exports left it exposed after the war in Ukraine.
But ladies and gentlemen, German ድማ ከምኡ ነይሩ ናይ ጀርመን ቪዚት ድማ ሪኢኹም ኣለኹ ፅቡቅ ገይሮም ተቐቢሎሞም ኣብ ቢዝነሶም ኣትዮም ኮፍ ኢሎም ከዋግዑ ጀሚሮም ማለት እዩ ንኽእል እስከ ንቐፅል ካልእ እንታይ ኣሎ ብዚ ፕሮባብሊ ኣብዚ ድማ ንመን ኢና ናይ ፈረንሳይ ከነ ከመይ ነይሩ ኣቀባብላ ናይ ፈረንሳይ ፕሬዚደንት ከክመፅእ ከሎ ከመይ ገይሮም ተቐቢሎሞ እዩ እቲ ነገር
China to use its influence on Russia to halt the war in Ukraine. After meeting with China's Premier Li Keqiang, President Macron has met President Xi Jinping in the last half hour. In his first comments, Mr. Macron said the visit would focus on economic ties as well as international stability. Well, joining us now from our newsroom is our Asia Pacific editor, Michael Bristow. Michael, thanks very much for being with us. Tell us, how significant is this meeting?
Premier Li Qiang, President Macron said this was a chance for France, for European nations to reset their relationship, re-engage with China following 3 years of pandemic, because it's worth remembering, it's worth mentioning that China over the last 3 years has been essentially closed to the outside world. Of course, people have still been talking, but there's a difference between talking on the phone or on Zoom calls and actually meeting people in person. So President Macron said earlier that he hopes that he will be able to, in these face-to-face meetings with Xi Jinping, the Chinese leader, re-engage really and on those issues that you mentioned there, the critical one, the war in Ukraine.
Okay. So far, ከምዚ ነይሩት ኣቀባብላ ማለት እዩ ኖርማል ኣቀባብላ ፅቡቅ ቢዝነስ ገይሮም ከለ እስከ ንኺል ካልእ መን መፅኡ ነይሩ ናብ ቻይና ነንቅደ ኣብዚ ኮቪድ ካብ ዝመፅእ ጀሚሩ ክሳብ ሕጂ ኦኬ እስኪ እቲ ናይ ጀርመን ቻንስለር ከኸመይ ነይሩ ናይ ጀርመን ከኸመይ ነይሩ ርኢናዮ ዲና ነዚ ነገር እዚ ኣይዶኖ ግን ንርአዮ እስከ እንደገና ሪኢኹም ኣለኹም ዞም ደቀይ እምበር ንዕኡ ድማ ነድግሶሞ እዚ ኩሉ እትሪእዎ ዘለኹም ኦፍኮርስ መራሒ ክመፅእ ከሎ ብሓደ ሃገር ከመይ ገይሮም ከም ዘኽብርዎ ሳብ ሕጂ ዝረኣናዮ ናይ ሙዲ ናይ ኢንድያን ፕሬዚደንት ኣቀባብላ ዝበለፀ መሲሉ ትሰሚዕና ኣነ እቶም ናይ ኣውሮፓንስ ተቐቢሎሞም ከምኡ ገይሮም ግን ወዝ ኦኬ ንምንታይ ናይ ኢሳያስ ግን እምበር ናብኡ ክንከይድና መክርኤና እዚ okay let's see this one
15号下午在人民大会堂东门外广场举行仪式欢迎厄立特里亚国总统伊萨亚斯阿费沃基对我国进行国事访问中共中央政治局委员、中央外事工作委员会办公室主任王毅、国务委员秦刚等出席欢迎仪式。陪同伊萨亚斯访华的有外交部部长、财政与国家发展部部长、贸易与工业部部长等。军乐团奏鄂中两国国歌，鸣礼炮21响。伊萨亚斯在习近平陪同下检阅中国人民解放军仪仗队。两国元首回到检阅台，观看仪仗队分列式。随后，军乐团进行行进吹奏表演。
The Eritrean President Isaias Afewerki has laid a wreath at the monument to the people's heroes at Tiananmen Square in Beijing. He is currently on a state visit to China. Sheng Yibing has more.
Here we are at the Grand Tiananmen Square in Beijing. The Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki has laid.
By the way, the area is area Z. Tiananmen Square is about abnormal maalti Beijing trio. Abzi منقساقس يلا قصص إلو يسب بتعمي crowded معاد سب يزمت إن ناي ما أوسيتون ريسا كري تريسا أبز building زيزولو بز غير كاتاتو ريهايو قصير كبتلو غير كاتو معاد سب تقدر بلا أبز نايز سب أيز جن كفتم كالوت مراحتين لعلي نما أوسيتون ريسا كري إذا خد إساس أفوركي مالتك سامحجب منتاي اتناتنا قرسي مسناي ما اوسيتونغ من كستي تشاينا وطعم استتحذر كبس لازنبرو ناي مورالن ناي ماتريال حجزن غيركم لنا يقني لنا نستزاربو زر ما سميكم اخم حكي با سبيشال كبري كيرو من تقبلوا ابزي زلو ناي تشاينا هزبي كنغركم اخدنا تقطروا من عيون قريب يلا نحجي كومبليتلي انتي هومون عوترا عينت في بيشاك يرم تقبلوا ومالتي because it is very important the extent of dignity
It wreath at the monument to the people's heroes at the square. Chinese Vice Foreign Minister Sun Weidong was with him for this solemn ceremony. President Isaias and his delegation paid tribute to the people's heroes while they visited the site. And the Guard of Honor of the Chinese People's Liberation Army stood beside to show respect for the president and his delegation. President Isaias arrived in Beijing. Yes, People's Liberation Army stood beside to show respect for the president and his delegation.
Hizbawi army na China abzinero ta arminero ba'al army to show respect to the president. Net mangisti net sab'ay banet NATO delegates na Isaias Afwerki President Isaias and delegates. Tom hizwom zmatu saba respect nkhgawru sum'u lay zinagar zinagere. To military to army na China khamana uneru banet yuraywo.
While they visited the site. And the Guard of Honor of the Chinese People's Liberation Army stood beside to show respect for the president and his delegation. President Isaias arrived in Beijing yesterday, kicking off an official visit to China. He'll be welcomed by Chinese President Xi Jinping. The both leaders will hold talks and exchange views on international and regional issues of common interest. They're expected to make new strategic guidance on the development of bilateral relations. May 24 this year marks the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic ties between both countries. And Chinese Foreign Ministry says China's invitation to President Isaias to pay a state visit to China on this occasion fully demonstrates the great importance that China attaches to the strategic partnership with Eritrea and to strengthening solidarity, cooperation, and the common development with African countries, including Eritrea.
Personally, no. Na Eritrean revolution in China, personally, ጉዳይ ዋቱ ድማ ተዓዊቱ ጥራሕ ዘይኮነስ ካብቶም ኩሎም ኣፍሪካንስ ንላዕሊ ናፅነቱ ዘኽበረ ህዝቢ ዘይጣላቐ ህዝቢ ከምዚ ዓይነት መራሒ ስለ ዝኾነ እዮም ተቐቢሎሞ ማለት እምበር ናብታ ካልአይቲ ቨርዥን ክሰደኩም እየ دكيري خمولهم مبار أبزنو دو تخال نجار كله أريكم يا غنو أوش تخيلهم سزارو أنت أنا فلينا قرينا توكسينا برنا تنقلوا نعم دافع توكسينا برنا كله ناشنال أرمي ناي تشاينا أوي نظر إذا ما سبيشال ريسبكت سلازونا تسباي سلمتاي كم زعينة نجار نمتاي الدبلوماتيك عاوت تمزجي وزل بمنتاي significance نا إريتريا تغمي أفت استراتيجيك إيريا راح أخونا قنعوت حليلا يوصل زلنا قد أبنا حزنا يوصل زلنا سب كم زيت كفوقنا يوصل زلنا رايدوني نا economic significance أو هاجرنا زول هابت تادم رايدو أسود ما تغميو كاركترك انت لو هابت راح يسكا انت دا لخبط بتركون كتاوا قالوا افريكا كلهم هابتامات كبع الكونغو على هابت زلول انا يلا all the way افريكا يزولكم زلوخو كاب انغولا كبع الغانادو كاب كله ريخوم لخبط بتبل مصعدا كله ابو زغن نصا زخونه منم ነገር ንጻዕዳ ተጸቆጦ 30 ዓመት ተጸቂጡሲ ወላ ሓንቲ ኣመወዳታ ጻዕዳውን ዝገብሮ ጨኒቕዎ ክቋጣጽሮ ዘይኽእል መንግስቲ እዚ ፖለቲካል ኢንዲፔንደንስ ባሪኹም ፖለቲካል ባዕልኻ ዲሳይድ ክትገብር ብዛዕባ ጉዳይካ ብዛዕባ ሃገርካ ባዕልኻ ክትውንኖ ትናትካ መጻኢ ዘይገድስ كما يجركم يقولون إريتريا كما يجرنا عقيبنا كم زلنا إذا ناتنا تعشبي ترزستس تطول كا زخمت أي توقع تزبط تطول كا أو أفريقيا بولو كلهم مثالي تودي تنزانيا ليدر إلى هنا هو الحنتي أتخا توتصاب كم زعينت ولا أو دك أوروبا زي رخو صعدا زي رخو ريسبكت تشاينا كلهم إريتراويا انتهي مخالنا فريتري ناتنا significance اتي صنعتنا اتي independent mindedنا اتي unity-نا اتي vigilance زولو نو كتامي حيش كابزو وارد زبهال نجر حرايدو كاركترنا إيساياس أفورقي كابزي حرايدو نمتاخاتو كم يلا نابزي ما خلاو علم زدنو او نجر نريو نجر يونيك تخونا بريزيدنت كوينو تاريخي تقبلو مود معود significant بكاركتر قتل زخيت هرايرو لما الزيب هسا الزارب اوكي تاخونا تقبر وي اي تقبر كتقالها بتسويل كاخونا ريخ صنعات independence vigilance نا إريتريا struggle حزبنا زخرة عزيز زخرة نقرينيرو in conclusion what I'm saying is أوروبا رغمهم نا هندي بتعمل سبوق تغيروا له تتعشموا تركبوا كون لا أنا قلنا إساس أفورقي سي كم حد سبيشال سبريو كم حد عنقيريو كم حد تعوت سبريو كم حد بريزيستنس تطول لهاجروا تطول زبله مزخول صوتت هذا يساعد قال موداتا ما افتريجنا ماستر كوين وتي دفن ماستر ما كلهم امريكوي عبيدو كينيا دو الصوماليا دو كلهم أفريكانس عجت قريموم يزول كما يقري دفيرو كيد كمسي تكابلا ماريخ مومودا كيري بقليلو زقمت كم زخونا كفتكم لليه إذا دمان عنا ديجنيتي نعنا يحبنا إريتراوي كاركتري هرايلوني زي لا خابت هزبمو I hope you enjoyed it it's a difference كريكم دليه بزمتيو اللي لا يدبر انت قبابلا عالم سلمنتاي وتحب قريبو زولو تبركم يونيكس لزخونه I don't think the president بعلو كم ذا عينت نقص تتصبي حتى بتاوي تشاو تشاو